Very warm welcome back to the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games. The National Aquatic Centre is the host of the wheelchair curling event. The arena, previously known as the Water Cube, having hosted the pool-based events in Beijing 2008, the venue has been repurposed for curling and has been nicknamed the Ice Cube. Featured game here on day 4 is Republic of Korea versus Canada, a repeat of the 2010 Paralympic final in Vancouver. Korea were the silver medalists on that occasion. Their whole team here in Beijing 2022 are making their first appearance at the Paralympic Games.
Welcome to this
the Canadians are hotly fancied coming into the event, and their performance in the round robin so far has done nothing to dampen the optimism around them.
Let's give a round of applause to this session's
They made a great start and look to bounce back from their first loss of the round robin here as big favourites against the Koreans.
On sheet B,
so let's meet the teams
versus Latvia.
For Korea, here is Baek Hye-jin, also playing lead stones but playing skip position.
C,
second player Yoon Eun-go
versus Estonia.
And the third, Jung Sung-hoon.
On sheet D,
and the fourth player, Jang Jae-hyuk.
Versus Canada.
And for the Canadians, Mark Idison, lead and skip as well. Second player, team change, Kalinda Joseph. The third player, the Canadian legend and Hall of Famer, Ina Forrest. And the fourth player, and the newest addition to the team, John Thurston. The Canadians mixing up their lineup. Dennis Thiessen, a pretty decent game last night against Sweden, so I can't imagine it's for performance reasons. Let's just look at the standings here so far in the round robin. Canada suffering their first loss against Sweden, who move alongside them. Korea with just one win to their names so far, and needing to start racking up some wins if they want to try and make it to the playoffs. Lost out in that extra end game against Switzerland, but had a shock win over the reigning Paralympic silver medalists, Norway. So they have got it in their locker, this Korean team, to cause some upsets. Canada will be big favourites here in this match, but
Wheels may be cool.
Let's see what happens. This is the Canadians' path to this point. 4 wins to start the round robin, but losing out to Sweden on day 3 in what was a tremendous advert for wheelchair curling as a sport. Just an unbelievable standard of play. Canada just on the wrong side of that decision. Excellent playing conditions here in the National Aquatic Centre. A tremendous playing surface with lots of curl on the ice. And we're seeing just great conditions for good aggressive curling. Lots of stones in play. So Kalinda Joseph there on the left. Sure, she's thrilled to be making her Paralympic debut. Veteran Dennis Thiessen sitting this one out. So we're ready to get this Korea versus Canada match underway here on day 4. Baek Hye-jin starts the game. Canada having the last stone here in the first end, having that advantage by virtue of their draw shot challenge before the game began. At the end of their practices, they throw 2 draws as a team, and they are accumulated to decide who has the last stone. Of course, the shortest distance to the button, the better. And as a result, Canada do have the last stone here in the first end. Mark Idison, the skip and lead player for Canada, threw the 4th stones 4 years ago on their way to the bronze medal in Pyeongchang 2018. That was the first time that Canada haven't won the wheelchair curling event at the Paralympic Games since its inception back in 2006 in Torino. They've won 3 gold medals and a bronze. They've never missed out on the medals since its introduction to the Paralympics. Successful levels back in 2010. They got the silver medal against the host nation and their opponents here today. So they play just in the house at the moment. Either team choosing to use the free guard zone at this early stage of the game. This is quite a typical approach for the teams early in the games. They're quite happy to play quite defensively and kind of ease themselves into the games, play quite simple shots and not have to spend too much time mulling over the decisions. Of course, all the shots are timed in this match. 38 times each. 38 minutes each for their time to complete all of their stones for the 8 ends. And if you're just watching curling for the first time, the aim of the game, well, it's quite simple really. Both teams have 8 stones for each end. There's 4 players throwing 2 stones each in order. They throw them alternately with their opposition. And once all 16 stones have been played and come to rest, they decide who is closest to the middle of those rings at the other end of the ice, 45 meters away. Rings called the house, and how many are closer than the opposition's near start. We're going to do that 8 times, 8 ends here in the wheelchair curling event. There's 11 teams in the round robin.
Down to it, like 12 and a half.
From 11 different countries. And 4 of them will make the semi-final and have a chance to go for the medals. She's a manager, has 2 children, started curling all the way back
really
in
nice
2006 in Ottawa, Ontario.
Just too much ice.
Previously played a bit of wheelchair basketball. So here's the Korean second player. Yoon Eun-go also started the tournament as the alternate for Korea in the initial entry list. Taking to the ice here for Korea. Perhaps their reasons for changing their lineup different to the Canadians, given they haven't been quite as successful, maybe feeling like they need to change their lineup to change their fortunes.
9.
Joseph. She's a manager for standards development and research within Accessibility Standards Canada. She's also worked on employment and social development in Canada's Accessibility Task Team and as a technical advisor for the National Research Council Canada. We should be happy with the accessibility of the National Aquatic Centre. That's all I hear from the teams, is that it's a great venue, repurposed here for the wheelchair curling event, previously used for the pool-based events back in Beijing 2008. So Jung Sung-hun throwing the clockwise draw here. It's the fourth and skip player who's actually on the bench here in this game.
8.5.
With everybody moving up a position, really. Go Sung Nam. We'll no doubt see him shortly. So here she is, the Canadian Curling Hall of Famer, Ina Forrest. Started curling all the way back in 2004. 2 Paralympic gold medals and a bronze to her name. A terrific competitor and a real legend of the game.
Great throw.
Nice throw, Ina.
Nice hit and stick here from the left-hander.
Did it feel like it got away?
By Ina Forrest, maybe trying to make the hit and roll behind the centre line as well. Nice shot by the Korean third player.
I had 9 on your last one, was that?
Okay.
I had 8-7. Okay. Right there, right in your wheelhouse. Nice slide.
Ina Forrest has 3 children, Ebony, Marlon and Connor. Plays out at the Vernon Curling Club.
Nice throw, Ina.
8-9.
And their trains about 8 hours a week on the ice. Quite a commitment to be able to compete at this level. So here's Jang Jae-hyuk. Playing the third stones for Korea, but moving up to throw the last stones. Wonder how that'll impact on this team.
Knows if we get the roll, that's good. Yeah. Just like 8.5.
So here's John Thurston, the newest member of this team. Really good shot maker, John Thurston. Wasn't at his best on day 3 against Sweden. But it's clear, technically very, very good.
Come on.
very strong player as well. He's talked about the amount of physical preparation that he put in during lockdown, during the pandemic, making the most of that time, trying to lose a little bit of weight, but also get stronger. The sporting heroes are Sidney Crosby and Wayne Gretzky, the ice hockey players, and Michael Jordan, the US basketballer. So, Jang Jae-hyuk. Take out here. Would want to stick around. Oh, and gets the wide one as well. Super shot there by the Korean skip. Well, it looks like there's not going to be a score here in the first end after a super takeout here by the Korean fourth player. Hits and just spins out of the rings. A little unlucky not to catch on the wide one. So we're not going to see anything heroic here from John Thurston. Just throwing the stone away. This is absolutely deliberate. Throwing it right through the house. To score a point, you need to finish in the circle. So that one out front, nothing to worry about. And it will be a blank first end here in our featured game between Korea and Canada. No score here after the first end, and Canada will retain the last on advantage going into the second end.
Good end, guys.
Yeah.
Good end.
Well, nothing to separate the two teams in the first end. Relatively defensive play all round. It's not going to be that way all the way through. At some point, somebody will take a bit of a chance, a bit of a risk. They'll try and throw some guards and try and get some action going here. So we're underway in the second end here. The skip and lead player, Baek Yijin.
Good, take it, have no wing.
Probably a little more weight with the, or a little more ice with this rock. Yeah. That broom looks good, eh? Nice and full.
I like it. It's good 9.
Idison's been on impeccable form so far in the round robin.
Nice girl.
Playing some great stuff. Both games in the 90% on day 3. Well, that's the first huge mistake of the game. An early opportunity here in the second end for Canada as that takeout slides right on by. There's the Korean coach, Kim Sung-min.
Yeah.
These rocks are a little slow.
Still smiling after that miss from the Koreans, but Canada have a chance to throw a second one into the house here. From a general strategy point of view, the teams with the last stone advantage, Canada in this instance, they want to try and score 2 or more points when they have that last stone to maximise that advantage. Generally speaking, when you don't have the last stone, you're trying to force your opposition only to score 1. So, and the last stone advantage does pass back and forth. You lose it when you score in the previous end, pass it to the other team. Mickey Lismore, excellent player, played for 3 years with the reigning Canadian national champions, skipped by Brendan Botcher. Didn't win it, the national title himself, but a real indication of the caliber of player that Mickey Lismore is. Coached the Canadian team to the silver medal in 2010 in Wetsucut at the World Championships. Oh my, another miss here from Korea. Another miss. It's a really solid first end from the Koreans, but perhaps the wheels starting to come off the wagon here a little bit in the second end. Really don't expect those shots to be missed at that level. So Canada didn't quite get the draw right with their first stone. Mark Idison coming up a little bit shy of the house, and it'll be Colinda Joseph this time to try and play the same draw. Has it got the weight though? Oh, very nice shot here by the Canadian second. Colinda Joseph slides one into the house around the corner guard. Canada line 2 here early in the second end.
Sorry.
뭘 친다는 거야? 범퍼. 아, 범퍼로? 웨이트 조절 잘해야 돼. 범퍼. 화이팅, 화이팅. 할 수 있어.
오빠, 이거 치는 거예요.
잘 안 보여. 앞에 거 먼저 치고 이렇게 가자.
이거 안 보여요?
잘 안 보여. 아, 너무 됐어?
아까 웨이트 너무 셌어요.
Becky Yijin holding the brush there. That's the aiming point for the thrower here. Yunun Go.
화이팅, 화이팅.
We've seen 2 missed takeouts in a row in this stone. Side delivery. Nice low delivery stick right through the stone to maximise the power through the handle.
웨이트.
Lots of rotation on this one. Oh my, that's 3 in a row. That's a turkey.
괜찮아.
Korea really struggling with the takeouts so far in the second end here. Won't want to have too many of them here because Canada will punish them. Canada, one of the strongest teams in the field. They can't afford to give them a head start here. Joseph looking entirely at ease out on the ice. 2 super draws. Canada lying 3 here early in the second end. Korea need to sort this out quickly. We've seen 3 consecutive missed takeouts. We've got Jung Sung-hoon to play here. The 43-year-old. Join the clockwise rotation and trying to get rid of at least one of these yellow stones. Well, he does so, and how's the roll? Very nice shot there by the Korean third. That's what they've been looking for. Both teams the lead, also playing the skip position. Entirely traditional, but whatever works for your team. There's no rules to say that you can't do that. Aina Forrest trying to remove that Korean stone now. It's going to get pretty close to the top one here. Is it by? It certainly is. Picks it out. Nice shot there by Aina Forrest. Canada line 2. Joseph looks like she's enjoying herself out there in her Paralympic debut. Glenda did play a few games at the last couple of World Wheelchair Curling Championships. Played 2 games in 2021 on their way to a 5th place finish. And played 4 games. A 2-win and 2-loss record in 2020 on their way to silver in Wetsikon. So another takeout here. Just hit some rolls into the rings, but not good enough to lie in shot position. Canada still out counting that one with the Yellowstone on the right-hand side of the sheet. So splitting the house, a very common tactic. When you have the last stone advantage, they've got one on one side of the house. They're going to try and maximize the distance between the 2 yellow stones by drawing one to the other side of the sheet here. Aina Forrest going to throw this one up the middle with a clockwise rotation, and it'll curl away to the left-hand side of the wing. Needs to be in the house though. Pretty good, just sneaks in the front door and just far enough to outcount that stone at the front of the house, importantly. Canada line 2 once again.
화이팅!
Jae-hyuk going for the takeout on that stone, just thrown by Aina Forrest.
웨이트 너무 약해.
Just hits on the wrong side, but does the most important thing and removes it from play.
Just like a half a broom less.
Just same shot again. Very consistent in their strategy here, the Canadians, throughout the second end. Trying to create good separation. Thurston looks like he's got a good speed here. Needs to get past that red stone. Really nicely done.
Good shot, John.
Excellent weight control from the Canadians throughout this end.
Nice.
앞에 거. 네.
안 들려.
Bit of a tactical
저거
discussion here.
범퍼로 치면 어떨까? 범퍼로.
Don't think they've got too much
근데
option but to
공간은
throw a
여기가 더
takeout again.
좋은데 이게 더 많이 안 보여요? 많이 보이는 쪽으로 쳐야 돼.
Well, I think the main difference here for the Koreans is that Yellowstone's kind of found its way behind the guard a little bit, so Korea will have to drop the weight, throw it a little bit lighter, try and get a bit more curl if they want to remove one of these Yellowstones. Both of them partially hidden, the ones in the house. So it looks like they're going to try and steer one between the red and the Yellowstone on the centre line to try and remove the stone on the left wing. Jang Jae-hyuk setting up for the anti-clockwise takeout.
웨이트. 됐다. 좋다. 굿샷.
Oh, what a shot here. Gets by the corner guard and rolls behind the centre too. That's the shot of the match so far from Jang Jae-hyuk. What a turnaround in this end that could be. Looked like this whole end was going Canadians' way. But with one shot, how things could turn around. And it came from that man there.
Okay.
Either this or the draw.
Well,
I like this.
I like this. Throwing this back.
So the final stone here of the second end coming up. John Thurston going for the takeout here. It would be a massive disappointment if they gave away a steal here after this whole end. It's looked like Canada will score two. Tough shot here. Lots of rotation on the stone. Needs to get tight to the guard. Oh, chips it in. Is it two?
Don't love that.
It's very close, that's for sure. They might need a measure to work that one out. It may just have stopped shy of being a steal of two. Just hit a tiny piece of that red and enough to push it forward and just about into that white 8-foot circle to score two. So I think it was just one in the end there. A little bit lucky, but a great end from Canada. And they've got to think if they kept playing like that, they're going to score multiple points sooner rather than later. One end played here, and it's Republic of Korea 1, Canada 0. Canada making more shots, we knew that already. But it was that super hit and roll from Jang Jae-hyuk that really turned the end around for Korea to generate the steal. It was almost two in the end. So after that score of one in the second end, that steal against the last stone. We're going to get this third end underway here with Baek Yijin, the skip. Comes up a little shy of the house.
slow and curly, maybe 14.
You see some quite typical play by the Canadians here. Probably throwing a corner guard or a draw to the wing, maybe. Playing out to the sides anyway, which is what you tend to do when you've got the last stone. Trying to generate some offense, trying to get a few stones and play out wide, but keeping the center reasonably open so that things do go wrong and they can just draw one in with the final stone at the end.
자, 화이팅.
I think it's quite likely that Ko Sung Nam, the fourth player for the first 4 games for Korea, was dropped to the bench for performance reasons, only playing 29% in game 4. And then came Yunung Gu to play second, a bit of a shuffle in the team order. A couple of guards are going up, and that guard kind of blocking off the draw for Mark Idison here.
13, I think, with this
We'll
round.
come down right-hand side as we look at it there and curl it from right to left in behind those centre guards. Ina Forrest providing the aiming point with the brush. In terms of the event stats so far, Mark Idison head and shoulders above the rest at his position, nearly 10% clear of the second place player at lead. He has been on fire, 98% and 94% on day 3. Great stats. That just drifts past the tee line, but a good attempt by the Canadian lead.
빼야 되는데
얼마나 보여요?
이게 아직
몇 퍼센트 보여요?
많이 보이잖아. 빼면은 많이 보이죠. 범퍼.
60.
범퍼 치면 때 범퍼 이거 어때? 범퍼로.
So take out called here by Baek Hee-jin for Yunung Gu.
이쪽에 안 떨어져. 가서. 내에서 떨어졌어.
Making his Paralympic debut. The alternate for the first 4 games coming into the lineup.
옆으로. 됐어요.
A couple of errant efforts in the previous end. Looking to tighten up with this one. Trying to get his chair in the right position. Using the full width of that delivery area between the red lines, the 18-inch lines. Don't have to play it from the centre line. Slightly different to the Olympic format where they play from a hack and everybody starts kind of roughly in the same place.
범퍼라고 그랬잖아, 범퍼.
Wheelchair curling, you can move around within those lines to give yourself a better angle to make the shots.
됐어요. 괜찮아요.
Certainly helped to make that one. Bend it around the guard and chip it out the back.
오픈 샷이야. 괜찮아. 빅플레이네.
Never mind.
Yours was 13?
A Paralympic debut for Yunung Gu. This is his first ever international game
Okay.
for Korea. Was the alternate in 2021 at the World Wheelchair Curling Championships here in the National Aquatic Centre in Beijing.
13 and a quarter.
Something that they always do is to have a test event the year before. The event was slightly postponed due to the pandemic, but still managed to have it. And from what I understand, they haven't made too much change to the arena.
13 and a quarter.
Yeah.
The World Wheelchair Curling Championships, a big success here in Beijing just 4 months ago. It was the hosts who won on that occasion. Canada slightly underperforming, finishing 5th. Looking back to their brilliant best so far in this round robin.
Nice weight. I got to give you last.
It's a really nice draw there from Clinda Joseph. We saw 2 great draws from her in the second end as well. Continuing that good play. Doesn't manage to get hidden though, so we can quite clearly see there. Wide open for a takeout.
나갔어. 안 나갔어. 봐봐요. 안 나갔어.
Everyone just checking the attachment to the stone. Everyone's happy and we're ready to get this one thrown. Trying to get the angle just right. Maybe a little bit of nerves on show. You would be surprised for Yunungu. This is a big moment for him. And he gets it on his way. Really packs a punch, a bit of firepower in those takeouts, but just lacking the accuracy as that one drifts on by as well. So now a great chance here for Canada. They can get another stone in there.
Okay.
Mark
Was I
Idison
just full to
indicating
fuller last time?
just the top of the fourth is the call.
Throw it the same. I'm going to give you last.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the time.
Yeah.
13 1/4.
So maybe the ice a little bit straighter here this morning, and that's catching the Canadians out that previous draw. Probably needed to curl a stone or 2 more to get in behind the cover. So bringing the brush in, playing for less curl. Looking for a similar distance on this one here from Clinda Joseph. How's the line? It's going very close to the center guard here. Oh, just sneaks by the smallest of margins, almost papers the guard.
That's a little close.
Look how close this was. Oh. Any less weight now would have wrecked the guard. It would have curled earlier.
Yeah.
So again, it's going to be Korea with the takeouts. Yunungu struggling at the second position. We've seen a few errant ones from him. Here's Jung Sung Hyun trying to mop things up. Well, certainly wide enough. Is it going to make contact? Yeah, just does enough to hit and roll to the wing. Sticks around too. Canada will choose to draw one in here again. This is a real key shot in the end here for Aina Forrest.
A little more ice than Clinda.
Mark Idison just moving the brush around, trying to find the perfect spot for this draw. Front of the house would be good here for Aina Forrest. Needs to make sure it's out counting the wide stone as well. Canada just struggling to get the line right here a little bit. This one, perhaps just the extra running causing the issue. Gets down close to the button, but does slip past the tee line here. Korea, if they so choose, they could throw a draw down into the pocket and cancel out both of them. Going for the takeout though. You can see the difference in where they're holding the brush here, much closer to the yellow stone. That indicates they're going to throw a takeout because with the increased weight of the stone, it won't have a chance to grip and curl on the ice. They run much straighter here with Jung Sung-hyun throwing the third stones for Korea. So Mark Heinesen out much wider on the sheet for those dead weight draw shots. Another mistake. That was always the risk. That was a tough shot. They could have thrown the draw there. Both of those yellows now behind the guards. Canada in good shape here in this third end. Did well in the end to curl enough to make contact, but not enough to get either of those yellow stones out of the house. Now a chance to lie 3 for Canada. Slight adjustment to our first stone. Just trying to take a little bit of speed off it. Looks like it's going to pass the guard just.
There you go.
Down into the front of the house. Is it counting the other? It is. Canada lying 3. Now as a result of that previous missed takeout by Korea,
Yeah, just
they need to
inside
throw a
that.
more difficult draw now.
야, 조금만 더 줄여줘 봐봐. 아, 조금만 줄여줘.
앞에
어?
너무 가까워서 이거 지나와야 돼요.
화이팅, 화이팅. 괜찮은 것 같은데?
Well, we saw Jang Jae-hyuk pulling one out the fire in the previous end to save the day. Can he do it again here in the third end? He's got enough speed. How's the line?
잠깐만.
Oh, what a beauty from the Korean third.
아우, 내가 무거운 부른다고.
Moved up to throw 4th positions here for the first time in this Paralympic Games. And he looks absolutely at home in his new position.
13. Okay.
What a freeze there from the Korean 4th.
This path curls nice in here.
Okay.
So Mark Harris has struggled to put the brush in exactly the right spot to make this draw. We've seen quite a few stones down this line here. Let's see if he can get it in the right spot here for John Thurston. So just following that stone down from Jang Jae-hyuk. Looks like they've got a lovely line. Passing the top stone comfortably.
Shot, John.
Oh, fabulous stuff once again here.
Beauty.
Some really high quality shot play on show here. John Thurston
What was that? 13
making
and a
that
half?
one look easy. I can assure you that it wasn't.
At half.
Nice rotation on the stone, curls in smoothly right down onto the face of that red stone. Canada, despite all that yellow granite in the house, they're lying 3rd, 4th and 5th shot. They're only lying 1 though. That red stone played by Jang Jae-hyuk, out counting all of those other ones.
오, 좋다.
Just trying to do the same again here. A little bit more running, but his line's absolutely perfect. Oh, look at that, right down onto the edge of the button. Great stuff by the Korean 4th player. And now it's going to be really difficult for Canada to score. Korea really giving them a lesson in freezing.
I think it's still 1 if we try to pick it. I like the double runner here. We can't hurt ourselves.
You don't think I can pick it out?
No.
I'm not seeing the double runner.
I think it's there.
Do you think it goes over top?
Nose, nose.
Nose, nose.
And that looks easier than the pick.
Eh? Or just the draw.
Well, I don't know.
Well, if you see the pick, and you think you can make it.
Oh, there's no draw. I like the run.
I'm not seeing the double run. Like,
I'm seeing the run. I think that's the only way we score. Like with an 8.
okay.
Well, a big shot here, a tough shot. John Thurston not entirely convinced about the plausibility of this shot. There's a little bit of space between the two stones, between the shot stone and the one behind it. They could well pick it out, but you can see it's just a little bit right of centre. It might be difficult to squeeze it all the way across the 4-foot and out. So I'm going to try and hit red onto yellow, onto red, right up the centre line here. So final stone of the third end here. It's a tough one, a really high degree of difficulty in this shot here. John Thurston going for the double raise.
Nice track.
Hits it a fraction high. And it's going to be another steal here for Korea.
All right.
Both of the last 2 ends, Canada looks like they've had the upper hand. And it's been a couple of terrific shots by Jung Jae-hyuk that have really turned the end on its head. Back-to-back steals for Korea.
Yeah.
Canada with work to do. Maybe an upset on the cards here on day 4.
안 하던 것 같지만 괜찮아.
No doubt that Canada have been the better team, but that man there is making absolutely everything. He is on fire right now, Jung Jae-hyuk. Trusted by the team to move up, throw the 4th stones. He's making light work of it so far, playing high difficulty shots to an extremely high level.
화이팅.
The Korean skip and lead player Baek Yi-jin.
좋아. 앞에 살짝. Good.
Just sneaks into the front of the house, so Canada could choose to play a take-out on that if they so wished.
I think we go corner.
Yeah.
All right.
Madison pulling for the corner guards here.
For curling. Reasonable, I like that ice.
Yeah.
14 and a half.
14.
8 ends to be played. This is the 4th of 8. And after the end of this one, there's been a 5-minute break. Teams get a chance to consult with the coaching staff and reset for the second half. Perhaps a bit of a lesson from the Koreans to the Canadians in the previous end. And we saw those freeze shots, those draws where they came up and rested against the Canadian stones. And that's why we say that you always want your draws in front of the tee line. If you keep them short at the tee line and in front of the button, then when the opposition freeze against them, they're not lying in shot position. As soon as you go past the button and into the back of the house, then that's what happens. And Korea really punished the Canadians for that slight mistake.
좋아.
Jang Jae-hyuk on fire here.
$13 and a half mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
13 and a quarter probably with this rock, eh?
Yeah. I like it.
Or double corner.
I wasn't happy with that one. Maybe not a good connection with the handle there. Just kind of almost seemed to slip out of the stick.
You're good, Mark.
Well,
13.6.
looks like he's got a pretty good result. If he even just squeaks into the house, not quite, but I think he knew something wasn't quite right there and didn't transfer all of the energy into the stone. That's why it's come up just a little shy of its intended destination. So Yun and Go struggled with the takeout so far. Making his international debut here at the Paralympic Games, the biggest stage of them all.
2.8. 괜찮은 것 같아요.
There's no doubt he seems to be a stronger draw player than he is a takeout player. We've seen a few botched attempts at making takeouts. A couple of good draws though, and that's another one down into the house. Korea lying 3 here early in the 4th end. Much better start to the end here from Korea. It's been Canada have been dictating the end really up to this point. Hadn't it been for some terrific flat stones by Jang Jae-hyuk, then the scoreline could be very, very different. Linda Joseph here making her Paralympic debut. I think it's great to see the alternates out on the ice. They really do some of the thankless tasks for their teams in terms of getting them ready, getting them prepared, long days at the rink. When the team goes home at night, they stay for the night practice and get to know the sheet of ice they're going to play in the next day, and to match the stones, to understand if there's any that run slightly different to the others. So any opportunity that they can get to get them out on the ice, I'm all in support of that. So great to see Linda Joseph out on the ice here in the Ice Cube.
좋은 것 같아, 좋은 것 같아. 굿샷이다. 3점 7. 굿샷이야, 굿샷.
좋아요.
아, 굿샷.
Another good looking draw here. Oh, it's a really good one here. What a shot by Yun Go. Well, if you're Canada, you want to keep him playing takeouts.
Same weight?
Yeah, same weight.
Clearly a strong draw player. Now I think Canada needing to hit the guard back. Takeout here called for Linda Joseph.
Oh, shoot.
A little more positive on that.
Sorry.
Bit of a bumpy rock there. That one kind of jumped from hand.
All right.
Just peels it out, actually leaves that in a reasonably useful position. It's a better guard to come around for Canada.
Sorry.
This wasn't a smooth throw. You kind of heard it kind of lift off the ice. And don't get that kind of smooth delivery, then it can just throw the stone slightly offline. And that's exactly what happened there for Kalinda Joseph. Just being replaced here by Jung Sung-hyun. Well, you can see the line good. It's directly in front of that red, but very, very long. Using almost the full length of the playing area here. In doing so, it just gives a bit more running space for Canada to kind of curl one in behind. There's more time for it to bend and get around onto that red stone and move it. So that's probably the best opportunity that Canada will get to remove that red stone. That really is in a threatening position to Canada at the moment. Well, if there was anybody to match Jung Jae-hyuk's excellent play in this game, of course it was going to be Ina Forrest, 92%. Through the first 3 ends. It's no wonder we refer to her as a legend of the game. Okay, just chips the guard off. Maybe a little bit short of speed. Curled a little bit early, chipped the guard, at least opened things up. Ina Forrest missing on the pro side there. A bit of concern on the face of the Canadians. Made the lineup change. Perhaps they thought this would be a straightforward game, but they certainly didn't factor in the play of that man on the right there, Jung Jae-hyuk. Made the lineup change, the Canadians bringing in Kalinda Joseph. Certainly haven't had all their own way here. Again, a very long guard, just creeps over the hog line into the playing area. So it does enough to create a bit of a nuisance there, Jung Sung-hyun. Forrest will surely make the correction from her first attempt and make the takeout on this red stone at the front of the 4-foot circle, just next to Mark Irison's brush. You know, going back to Kalinda Joseph's shot that kind of bumped off the ice, we can see a little bit of a white ring on the ice, perhaps the stone just getting a little bit stuck. That can happen. The stones kind of freeze to the ice. No problem with this one. Very smooth from Ina Forrest. So it looks like a little bit more weight this time. Have they got enough curl though? Have they got enough curl? Oh my, another mistake here from Canada. This is a much better end from Korea from start to finish. Last couple of ends, we've seen Canada dominate the ends, and it's just in the final stages that Korea have saved the day. This end has been all Korea, all red stones in the house. Korea lying 3 here with just 4 stones to come. This has got some going to go. Does it get over the hog line? Needs to go now. And it's going to stop on the hog line. That's going to be removed, and the volunteer will come on just to move it off to the side. Needs to be fully over that red line. Given some of the shots that Jung Jae-hyuk has played today, that's a real surprise.
Okay, that's a little less ice than 9?
Yeah.
You believe it.
Okay. The other option is we could come off center a little bit.
She threw it off center, right?
Ina took it off center.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it that far? Was it that far? Yeah, it's just
So this is all part of that really important communication when you transition from one player to the next. Make sure that not only are you putting the brush in the right place and knowing the weight that's being thrown, there's an additional complication here in wheelchair curling where you can actually start the stone from different positions. So you need to communicate that between the players. So John Thurston. Third attempt by the Canadians to come down this line and try and make the takeout. A little bit tight, peels the guard. Where's it going? Comes off the corner guard and through, but not quite into the house.
There's weight.
There's weight.
Well, the waist is going. Maybe Korea going to get another steal here in the fourth end. Can't imagine that Jung Jae-hyuk's going to make the same mistake again and hogging his guard. Just a little bit more speed required in this one from the in-form Korean. So makes it over the hog line this time. It's got a good line too. Oh, lovely shot here by the Korean. Excellent weight. Gets down and guards that red stone. Still showing a piece though. Maybe half the stone being shown to John Thurston for his final stone in the fourth end.
Or this.
Okay.
We've tried it 3 times, so I'm not sure.
Does that mean you like it or you don't like it?
I think I still like it.
Okay. So I was a little down, or what? What'd you think of my last one?
I didn't get a time.
It was 10-7.
Yeah, okay.
Did you like the line?
Yeah.
Do you want the same starting position?
Yeah.
So 10?
Yeah.
So fourth time lucky for Canada. Coming down this same line, trying to make this takeout. They've not been successful in their first 3 attempts. Needs to remove that red stone and stick around. This really is a crucial shot here in this game. Canada lying quite a few against here. Looks like it's got a lot of speed on this one. John Thurston playing against multiple Korean counters. He hits it and he rolls out of the rings. Another steal here in the fourth end. Korea going from strength to strength here. And Canada just having an absolute nightmare here on day 4. That was a great end for Korea though. They really dominated from start to finish. And Canada, maybe a huge upset on the cards at the halftime break. It's Republic of Korea 4, Canada 0.
That's okay.
Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
I know we got to play off.
An excellent crowd in here on day 4, enjoying some top quality action, especially from the Koreans. really playing some terrific stuff. Anytime that Canada have seemed to have the upper hand, the Koreans have had all the answers, and John Thurston just can't match the play of Jung Jae-hyuk. Super play by the Koreans, particularly that fourth player, that top man, Jung Jae-hyuk. 72%, playing considerably above his tournament average. Good to see a few Korean fans in as well. They'll be absolutely delighted, and maybe a famous victory on the way here over Canada, the biggest curling country in the world. 2 million curlers in Canada. John Thurston just struggling. The rest of the team playing very well in the high 60s. Maybe not a reflection on John Thurston's ability by any stretch of the imagination, but such has been the quality of the shots by the Korean fourth player that's really raised the difficulty of the shots that Thurston's need to play. And that's why he's been missing. Can't make them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get in the corners in good spots for him to make a great place. Like,
yeah, I know we're close.
This is not a.
Pretty even Stevens in the stats, 62% plays 63%, but look at those stolen ends. All 4 points stolen by Korea. So we'll be starting the fifth end shortly. Second half of the game, 8 ends in all to be played here in this round robin. 11 teams, 1 team from each nation.
All right. Corner, and then if they're bunched up in the middle, we'll try to hit and stay.
Steal 1, steal a 1, steal a 2 in the second, third, and fourth ends. 4-0 lead for Korea, and Canada, they're going to need to do something different in this second half.
해보자. 할 수 있어.
Certainly going to need to start scoring, that's for sure. Running out of time, 4 ends to come. Maybe not actually needing to do something different per se for the Canadians, because actually in the second and third end, they've really had the upper hand for the most part, and can't expect that Jung Jae-hyuk's going to be able to bail out his Korean teammates every single end. Underway in the fifth end here, Baek Hye-jin, the skip. And we can expect Korea to play into the house here rather than want to guard. They've done the heavy lifting already in this match to take a 4-shot lead, and they want to take too much risk. Look at this draw right out onto the top of the button by the Korean lead. That's a super draw to start the game, start the end.
All right. 14.
Smooth 9. Work.
Mark Idison even playing a little bit below his tournament best. 83% so far this week, but only 69% in this game. So this is the corner guard. We've seen Mark Addison throwing this kind of shot a few times. Just throwing it off to the side so they've got some protection that they can use without blocking up the center of the sheet. Very typical tactic employed by the team with the last stone in the end, keeping the middle open so that they can throw their last stone into the middle unimpeded.
앞쪽이야. 딱 말한 대로 됐다. 이야, 대박. 딱 말.
What are they at 9?
Yeah, 9.
What are 9?
So Korea lying 2. Canada kind of ignored the stones early in the end of in the fourth end, choosing to move them on this occasion. They'll be looking to hit and stick here. Important to keep this thrown stone in play by Mark Addison. Really nicely done.
Mark.
Moves the play away from the centre line once again. He's a great shot maker, Mark Addison, that's for sure. Played the fourth stones, was selected for the fourth stones back in Pyeongchang 4 years ago, so he's got that experience of playing the most important shots at the end. Changing position for this Paralympic Games with the retirement of Marie Wright, who played lead stones before moving down, and bringing in John Thurston in the background there to throw fourth. Unungu's takeouts in the first half left a little bit to be desired. Super draw player. Not so good when he needs to throw the weight. This one looks like it's curling away as well. Has he done enough to get it out? He has. Well, now the centre of the sheet wide open, and Canada will start to try and use that corner guard thrown by Mark Addison.
하면은 그쳐요. 아니야.
Holding the brush there. That's the aiming point. They'll throw up the centre, and then it'll curl away off to the left-hand side. Glenda Joseph making her Paralympic debut. 66% through the first half. Played some lovely draws. Here's another one. She really looks comfortable out here in the ice cube. Perfect draw. Not lying in shot position, but really well hidden. Still a long way to go here in this fifth end. Of course, not important about who's lying in shot position at this stage of the end. Both teams have 8 stones in the end to throw. They throw alternately with the opposition. And once all 16 stones have been thrown in the end, they'll work out who's closest to the middle and how many is closer than the opposition's nearest one. Only one team can score per end, so only one team can be closest. And it's only 1 point per stone. Trying to peel the guards here, throwing the big weight. Oh, what a shot there by Unungu. Good job by the volunteer to stop that stone coming off the foam bumpers and ricocheting onto the stones in the house. So as things stand, Korea lying in shot position, just touching the edge of that 8-foot white circle. A little bit closer than the other yellow, so if we stop playing right now in the end, Korea would score 1. Still 9 stones to come here in this fifth end.
good, Kalinda.
Yeah.
Shot.
So just the guard there. Nice shot there by the Canadians. Could have put a takeout on the wing to lie to, but feeling it's a bit early in the end to do that. Well, that's a big mistake here by Jung Sung-hun. So close to making a terrific run-back double. Just a centimetre different contact that may have spilled the shot in the house.
Tap this back. 12 and a half.
So now with that big break for Canada, that's maybe what they needed, what they were looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
The setup play has been really good for Canada here in the fifth end, so maybe they deserve it. Got the opportunity now to draw one over to the other side and maybe just tap that Korean stone a little bit to lie to. The delivery sticks up to 2.5 meters in length as they so choose. Line of Forest's a little bit shorter than some of them that we've seen. Maybe only about 1.5 meters. Just an extension of their arm. We've got that GTX head on the end of the delivery stick attached to the handle. What a lovely shot here. Really well done. Pushes it just far enough to get it out of the house. And Canada line 2 here. Korea in trouble. And this will be the danger here for Korea if they can't get the setup right early in the ends. Canada, with all their experience and ability, they will just pick them off and ease themselves back into this match gradually. So going for the takeout on the wing here. Jung Sung-hun. Oh, it's missed by a country mile. That one's overcurled by at least a stone. And Canada with a terrific opportunity now here in the fifth end. Jung Sung-hun shaking his head in disbelief. Maybe the Koreans just starting to tighten up as we get into the second half here with a 4-shot lead. This would be huge for Korean curling if they were to defeat the mighty Canada. Maybe that's starting to weigh on their shoulders and on their minds a little bit. So Sign of Forest throwing another one into the house, throwing one out to the wing. Yeah, really well done.
There you go.
You know, the Canadians must be wondering, well, I wonder how Jang Jae-hyuk's going to get them out of this one. He's pulled a few Houdinis already in this game. A few rabbits out of the hat, and he'll need another one here.
안쪽으로 맞는 거 아니에요? 화이팅 화이팅.
Bit of a cobbler here from Jang Jae-hyuk. You could hear it bouncing off the ice as he threw it. Has it affected the line? Looking to remove some yellow granite here. He's got one, and good enough to lie in shot position despite that Bouncy delivery.
Get to it.
Sorry, what weight?
I like 8.5.
Okay.
You've thrown down here before, right?
Yeah. Yeah, first end.
Yeah.
Such a big part of the game, being able to recall back to when you've thrown certain shots on certain lines. He remembers his first stone, his stone in the first end, down a similar line. That'll just give him a little bit more confidence as to how the stone's going to run down the ice. Throwing quite a heavy takeout on this one.
Nice try, nice throw.
Well, perhaps just a little bit too much weight. It doesn't curl enough, doesn't curl up onto the nose. And hits and rolls out. So Korea maybe with a chance to play another takeout. Jung Ji-hyuk.
하나 이쪽으로 치자 그냥.
위나 쳐야 되는데 오빠.
이쪽으로 하는 거 어떨까?
네.
연합보다 이게 나을 것 같긴 하네.
시골 안.
So this is the second shot, but one thing's for sure, Korea don't want to risk giving up a score of 3 here. They don't want to go after the shot stone behind the guard, which is a far more difficult shot. They miss and then Canada draw in for 3. Instead they're going to play it safe and hit the stone on the right-hand side, remove it from the house, and then that would limit Canada to only scoring 2 here.
Good shot.
Well, if you could roll into the 8-foot circle, that would be a great shot. Hits it a little bit thin and rolls out to the back of the house. So this should be a straightforward draw for 2 here for Canada. Already guaranteed a score of 1 with that stone on the wing, which won't be out counted now. And it's just really anywhere in the house, those painted rings, for Canada to finally get their first score on the board here in the 5th end. Well, it's been a long time coming here. Canadian score. They've looked like they've almost been guaranteed to score in a couple of ends, and somehow Korea have snatched a steal. This should be a formality here for the Canadian 4th player. Anywhere in the house to score 2. And this one is going to rear up at the back of the house. Canada finally on the board here on day 4. And they have half the deficit here against Korea. That score of 2 in the 5th end makes the scoreline Republic of Korea 4, Canada 2.
화이팅 화이팅.
That was a really good 5th end there from the Canadians, and they'll be looking to build on that here in the 6th. And a Forrester holding the brush for Mark Idison. So it's the first time in the match that Korea have had the last stone. We've had to wait until the 6th end. Can you believe it? Canada running out of time here to overturn this deficit, but they've cut it to 2 now.
Nice throw, Mark.
So the centre guard goes up. You see the Canadians starting to move the play back towards the centre of the sheet. Look, if Korea have made a team change here, and Go Sung Nam returns to the ice. Jung Sung-hun leaves for the last few ends. Interesting decision here from Korea, given the success they've had in the first half of this game. Very surprised to see a team change, given how well things have been going for Korea. Maybe illness or injury a factor, who knows? Baek Hee-jin looks unperturbed anyway, fully focused on the job in hand.
13 and a quarter, I think. With this rock, probably.
Need a little more rotation.
12,
Yeah, depending on what rock.
Nice draw by Idison. Doesn't quite get behind the guard though.
Oh, Mark.
(13-2).
더 잡아줄까? 그건 되겠지.
아, 괜찮아요.
So with that stone not being hidden behind the guard, maybe Korea can make a takeout here. Don't want to hit the centre guard off. They passed that safely, but they find a way between the two of them. Couldn't have done that if they tried. Threads it right between everything. And an early mistake here in the 6th end.
They don't have to be in the house.
Yeah, just.
Are you thinking for time?
Well, it's 14, right?
Yeah.
So Kalinda Joseph, she's had a good game, especially her draw shots. She's really put on a clinic of draw play. Needs another good one here, and in the closing stages. Canada still with work to do to try and turn this one around. A potential upset on the cards here on day 4.
It just didn't move, yeah. It's a straight rock, so.
오빠 노말이에요.
Really heard them talking about a straight rock there. Maybe that's why just a few ends ago we saw them struggling to get the draws in behind the guard. Maybe that's what it was. Some stones just run a little bit straighter than the other ones. And that's all part of the skill of the game, trying to identify them and manage them accordingly. What a shot here. Yurungu's not had the best game in terms of the takeouts, but finds a beauty there, making the double. Maybe Yurungu on his debut starting to settle in now and show the skill that he has. So Canada don't have the last stone here in the 6th end for the first time in the match. Don't want to give away a big score here in the 6th end. That would surely end the game. So throwing the takeout. Ah, it's a nice shot as well by Kalinda Joseph. Makes the freeze, great shot.
Yeah, 8
Oh, this is a really savvy call here from Beck.
He keeps getting in my way when I'm trying to get.
Steps out, calls the peel on the guard. They're just going to try and split the guard off and run the thrown stone out of play as well. Open things up. The less stones in play, the better for Korea at this point, and they know that this is a real threat. Well, that just glanced off. And after that terrific takeout with his first stone, Yoon makes hard work of the easy one. So now an opening here for Canada. A few stones in play to draw around.
Yeah, I think so.
They'll be looking to try and steal here in 6.
Mark's was 32, right?
Yeah.
With the draw this time, trying to come around everything, trying to find their way onto the tee line. Looking a little bit shy of weight, but still finishes in a useful position in the centre guard.
Yeah.
That's a good shot there by Aina Forrest.
Nice throw. Great pat.
그것도 나쁘지 않았죠? 얘기를 해봐.
So Go Sung-nam, the 36-year-old, returns to the team, having sat out the first 5 ends after poor performance in day 3, only playing 29%. But returns for these crucial stones. Interesting call here from Korea. They're lying 1 and looks like they're going to try and go in and lie 2. Playing aggressively here. Go Sung-nam, the left-hander, ready to fire. Nice draw into the house, but only lying in 3rd shot position. You can see that yellow stone in the middle of the blue circle, clearly out counting the red on the other side. And now, the real risk here in doing that by Korea was that they're leaving this draw around the centre guard, just played by Aina Forrest, wide open. So maybe a bit of a tactical error here from Korea. And will Aina Forrest be able to punish them for it? Pretty good so far. Needs to slow down though. Needs to slow down. Oh, this one drifts all the way to the back of the house. It does outcount that stone just thrown by Go Sung-nam.
Yeah,
and Aina Forrest kicking herself for that mistake. Really wanted to be lying in shot position after that one. That was a great opportunity after that tactical error by Korea. Well, this looks like a smarter play from the Koreans, going into the middle to try and block off the draw from Canada. Still need to make it though. Go Sung-nam has played 4th stones for the Korean team so far in the tournament. Looks like a good one here. We could do staying short of the tee line. Oh, great shot to come in and lie 2 though by Sung-nam. But it wasn't so long ago that Canada were in this sort of position. He threw one back at the tee line, and Korea punished him for it by making a freeze. And now it will be Canada trying to return the favour here in the 6th end. So much curl on the ice. You can see that's come right out the other side of the guards. John Thurston's had an okay game. Hasn't really nailed any of his shots today. If there ever was a time to make a good one here, this could well be it. Looks like he's got a good line here. Hasn't got the running though. Needs to get right down into the 4-foot circle to lie shot stone.
Good shot.
There you go.
Finishes in a pretty handy position, but Korea still lying one with that terrific draw there by Go Sung-nam.
It's in a good spot.
John Thurston just struggling a little bit on his takeout so far, but they have been difficult ones that have been called, such as the quality of the play been by Jang Jae-hyuk. Korean coaching staff making the team change here, clearly feeling that Jung Sung-hoon wasn't playing well enough, only 45%. Needed to get that. Oh, here's another beauty here.
굿샷.
Jang Jae-hyuk, that was fraught with danger, that takeout. He was a little bit wide. He could have easily driven that stone onto the shot stone, but he's played it absolutely perfectly. And if Korea do see this through and get a famous victory over Canada, then there's no doubt that that man, Jang Jae-hyuk, will be getting a big pat on the back. So John Thurston, he's already had a shot at this draw. It's slightly more difficult this time with that last Korean stone in the way. Just changing this shot up slightly. So just a slight adjustment required here from Canada. They'll want to lie shot after this one. Needs to be right down onto the button pretty much. Has it got the speed though? Has it got the speed? It hasn't. And Korea with a chance to score 4 here. Lying 3 already in the 8-foot circle, and they've got a chance to pile another one in here. This is incredible stuff here at day 4. Canada can't believe it. Potentially back-to-back losses on the way for the powerhouse nation.
오케이. 좀 더 잡아줘. 괜찮아.
네, 10셋.
Korea can't have expected that they could have a chance to beat Canada, and they're dispatching them with ease here. So final stone of the 6th end. Jang Jae-hyuk already lying 3 here for Korea, and a chance to get a 4th one in. Needs to get past that top yellow. Oh, perfectly done here by the Korean 4th player. What a performance from that man in this game. Unbelievable stuff. 4 on the board here in the 6th end, and Korea, Republic of Korea, leading Canada by 8 shots to 2. Can you believe it?
Play one more, see how that
Yeah.
goes.
하나 드로우를 해놓고 하나는 버릴게요. 그럼 세컨 첫 번째 샷은
What a performance by that man.
네.
Well, the stats as a team are very similar between Korea and Canada, but really does just show the importance of the final stones at the end. You've got John Thurston just not quite making the key shots, and every single time Jang Jae-hyuk is asked a question, he's had all the answers. He's really had a terrific game. You wouldn't know by looking at him. You wouldn't be able to tell whether he's playing a blinder or he's playing a stinker. But trust me, he's playing the former. Just unbelievable stuff from the Korean fourth thrower. Baek Hee-jin gets this 7th end underway. Could have just chosen to throw that one away. Comes right down onto the back of the button. Nice draw, but perhaps a little bit unnecessary with a 6-shot lead.
Yeah.
Mark Idison in Canada must have thought that this would be a procession. They made the team change in bringing in Kalinda Joseph. And I wonder if that's altered things, altered the dynamic within the team, and not having Dennis Thiessen out on the ice. She's made all her shots, she's played extremely well, but sometimes that can just throw things out of kilter a little bit. Canada have just been swept aside by this incredible performance by Jang Jae-hyuk of Korea. They've made a couple of team changes themselves to the Koreans. And I'll tell you what, if they can continue to play like this, maybe they can make a late charge for the playoffs. This will fill them with confidence going into the second half of this round robin.
13?
Yeah, just inside the 8. Little less.
1, 2, 3.
So we're going to see Mark Idison and the Canadians play very offensively now. They really need to be scoring probably 4 at least in this 7th end to have any chance of turning this around. It's going to be a big ask. This one just draws round the back, but stays in play. Still useful for Canada. And Korea won't be able to play the peel on the guard that they would so like here with Yoon Eun-gu. Talk about the different length of delivery stick. Well, look at the length of the stick that Yoon Eun-gu uses in comparison to Aina Forrest coming next, or coming shortly. Very long, very low angle and parallel to the ice. Different things suit different players. Yoon Eun-gu trying to make the takeout here. He's going to move his own red, but at least opens up that back Yellowstone. So now Canada, how do they generate something? How do they get multiple stones into the house at the end of the end? A freeze called here by Idison sounds like a good call to me. Another thing they could try is a draw around the corner guard. Try and bring that into play. It's going to be a long end here for Canada to go into the house wide open this early. Joseph trying to make the freeze on that red stone, just thrown by Yoon Eun-gu. Much less communication within the ranks of the Canadian team now. Very quiet. No real chatter about times, different paths.
It's a little light.
The wind just clearly out of their sails in a game that they surely must have fancied would put a win on the board. given Korea's performances so far, but they've mixed up the lineup and it's really paid off for them, the Koreans. Nice shot again by Ungo. Hits that back one, and that's all they really need to do, the Koreans, is just keep taking those Canadian stones out. Nothing fancy. They have earned this position though. They kind of weathered the storm early on, and
12.5.
when Canada looked like they were going to pick up big ends, and certainly the third and fourth end, they weathered the storm, they turned things around and even got the steal. And they're just running it home here in the second half.
Nice throw. Didn't give you enough ice.
Okay. I got out to it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So trying to make the freeze in the left-hand redstone there. Just over curls a little bit, but again, excellent weight control by Colinda Joseph. This may well be just a game that the Canadians need to put to bed, really. They've actually played reasonably well as a team in terms of statistics, but sometimes you just come up against an unstoppable force, and that's what Jung Jae-hyuk's been today. So Go Sung-nam entered the game in the sixth end, makes the takeout, gets rid of one of his own as well. That is probably a good thing for Korea, in all honesty. Just a few stones starting to build up at the back of the house, and when there's less stones in the way, it's easier to remove those Canadian yellow stones. So quite wide, actually needs almost a little bit of help off his own red.
I think 12.75, eh?
So going for the freeze here again, Aina Forrest. Trying to draw across the centre line and make the freeze on the redstone behind the T-line. Good line here. That's for 12.75 seconds between the hog, and they got 12.8. Comes right down onto the button to line shot position. Nice draw there by Anna Forrest.
Yeah.
But should still be easily removed by the Koreans. Wide open, no guards.
Great weight.
Just Mark Addison just struggling to put the brush in the right position today, but not sure whether that's down to the playing conditions changing slightly today. Maybe the ice a little bit straighter in places, or whether it's just a set of stones that they've struggled with. Sometimes playing on the end sheet, the side sheet, rather than one of the two center ones here in the ice cube, then conditions can be slightly different. Good shot there by Go Sung-nam. He's putting the horrors of day 3 behind him and making some nice shots here at the tail end of the game. Only entered the game in the start of the sixth end.
So 12.5? Closer to 12?
11.5, maybe.
11.5?
I think for Mark Idison, I think he's obviously a very good shot maker and a very good tactician. I'd like to see him just act with a little bit more confidence and conviction in the shots that he's being called. As a skip, you really need to be a leader, show some authority, and by doing so, then the team will believe in him more. Sometimes it kind of feels like he's kind of suggesting things as the skip, which is obviously a good team working, but as a skip sometimes you're looking to them for a bit of authority.
All right.
It's maybe
Nice
something
throw,
that Mark Idison can work on.
It's a good one.
That's good. Nice throw.
앞에.
You know,
네.
normal.
So takeout here from Jung Jae-hyuk. Makes the double takeout and pushes that yellow underneath. Another terrific shot there by the Korean skip, fourth player. Unbelievable stuff. Manages to thread it between those two red stones and in behind them. Just as good as making a takeout, and a bit of a wry smile in the background there from Kalinda Joseph.
8.5.
They
Sorry?
managed to
8.5.
wiggle that between them all.
I think we gotta, like, throw a 10.
Okay.
Throw 10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the problem here that Canada have is that they know they kind of need to bring that yellow stone into play, but they also need to remove the stones in front of it to leave it intact. So this is tricky stuff here for Canada. John Thurston needed to be very, very accurate with this one. Certainly can't afford to remove their own yellow stone.
Nice throw, John.
That actually works out quite nicely. Nice shot there by John Thurston. Manages to keep that yellow stone intact in the forefoot and lie in shot position. Maybe still a chance for a couple of points here for Canada. Did look like from the overhead that Korea lying in second and third shot position, so a nose hit here from Jung Jae-hyuk, and Canada would have to just score one. That would surely be the end of the game.
웨이트 있어야 돼요.
Yeah.
Oh, well. What have we got here? A very unexpected miss from Jung Jae-hyuk. Seems like the easier the shot, the more likely it is for him to miss. He's made all the difficult ones and he's missed a couple of really easy ones. He just had to get that out of there. So now
We could play the out, eh?
Canada maybe with a chance to score 3. It's a tough shot.
From here?
But they can hit that red stone just next to Idison's brush. Maybe just chip the other red and stick around to lie 3. Enough to keep Canada interested. John Thurston. Hoping against hope here in the 7th end. John Thurston going for a quiet weight double takeout. Tough shot here for the Canadian skip. So it's on its way to the final stone of the 7th end. Canada already lying 1. Chance to score more.
Give me that. Come on.
Oh, unlucky. Unlucky for the Canadian. Only scores 2. Will that be enough to continue the game? I think the Canadians will have a discussion about it.
Sorry? Corners?
So trailing by 4 now with just 1 end to come, and they don't have the last stone. Well, I think that's enough to continue, but Korea with just 1 end to play here, leading by 4 shots.
That was worth the measure.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, from our understanding.
I think we should.
A little bit surprising to see Canada continue trailing by 4 without the last stone in the 8th end. They've not really generated anything to suggest that they might be able to turn this around, but a couple of twos in the 5th and 7th end. Canada going to try something a bit more unconventional here in the 8th end. They're going to throw a corner guard, which is typically a tactic you would expect a team with the last stone to use. They don't have the last stone here in the 8th. So Mark Idison gets this final end underway, and they need to steal 4 points to extend the game. Highly unlikely, but they'll give it a go. And they're going to throw out to the sides of the sheet to try and create
15-3. Nice weight, Mark.
a couple of guards, maybe 2 or 3 guards to draw behind and try and get as many stones as possible into the house, try and flood the house with yellow granite.
Yeah.
And maybe they can force a miss from Korea in this 8th end.
Yeah. He said it's a way to generate some offense.
Just numbers.
Yeah.
Well, I think the right call here for Beck is just to throw this stone away.
The Olympics, the Americans did that.
Is that timeout called, I think, here? A little bit surprised to see a timeout. It's a pretty straightforward decision, this, with a 4-shot lead. If they aren't sure, then best to consult with the coaching bench.
우리가 후공이었잖아요. 그래서 여기다 드로우를 할 거면 여기다 드로우를
아니, 이건 아니야. 여기는 아니야. 여기는 아니야.
후공인데.
저쪽 사이드로
그럼 저쪽 드로우를 할게요.
이쪽으로 차라리
차라리 들어가고 보이면 치고 테이크 들어가야 된다고. 얘네들 지금 계속 사이드 쪽에서 지금 센터만 안 돼.
아니, 이 정도 선에서 계속 놀면 돼.
그러니까 가운데로 들어가면 안 돼. 사이드로 들어가서 저기서
그럼 6 잡아야겠다.
여기 따라 들어오면은 가서 테이크하고 보이는데 쭉 써서.
앞에 열 때 바로바로 열어봐.
그렇지. 앞에는 나중에
해놓고 나중에
일단은 들어오는 거 있으면 쳐야지. 지금 8대 4, 4점 차이니까.
네, 알겠습니다.
내가 네프 잡아줄 테니까 이쪽으로.
여유 있게 잡아주고.
6. 어떻게 해서 6은 또 처음 써서 내가 조금 더 밀어볼게요.
내서 이 정도 쓰면 될 것 같은데.
So Kim Sung-min, the coach, comes down. Has a quick chat with the team. Surely they're going to throw this one away. Got to think about it from the viewpoint of the opposition. You know Canada want to get as many stones as possible in play as possible to try and generate that score of 4 that they need. And any stone that Korea put in play at this point is only going to help the Canadians, you would think. Does look like a draw here from Beck. Very surprising tactics here from the Koreans. Unconventional, to say the least. So that goes down into the house, and you would think maybe Canada would want to guard that stone or to play a freeze on it. That's what they're going to do. Mark Idison. Pretty much ignoring it and throwing another corner guard. Very puzzling, that previous call by the Koreans.
Having a good time.
아, 센터 잡아주세요. 날린다고.
그러니까 센터 해줘.
센터요, 센터.
Well, perhaps the nerves starting to get to Korea here. They seem very kind of confused about what they should be doing here. They really need to be running the game home. And is this being thrown away this time? Certainly looks like it. Surprising they didn't do that the first time. So that was absolutely deliberate. Just threw that one away. Don't want to give Canada anything extra to work with. They have already given Canada an extra stone to work with. There's already one in the house.
You can tap
It'll
it
be
a little.
Kalinda Joseph to throw. Try and make a freeze.
It's not bad.
She's been the best draw player on the sheet. And how Canada would love them to play her to play a couple of good ones here.
Curl up. Curl up.
Just a little.
Shot.
Thanks.
A really good shot again by Joseph. Pushes it back behind the corner guard as well. That's perfect, really.
Much too heavy. Huh?
So now plenty of options here for Korea to play takeouts. They can hit the one in the house. They could hit the corner guard. Again, don't want to get sucked in here and just play a hit and stick.
아, 안 돼요. 저 걸려요. 그냥 편안하게 이쪽으로 치는 게.
Ideally, the Koreans will want to hit and roll out of the rings. They're leading by 4 shots. And just trying to run this game home. Just trying to run Canada out of stones. Go. Needs to make sure he hits on the nose or the left-hand side of this one. Oh, great shot here by Go. Hits and rolls out. That's one less to worry about for the Koreans. Now Canada will try and make the freeze on this red around the corner guard. He's really settled into the game well, Go, after a bit of a slow start, a couple of wayward takeouts, but he's played a super second half. So Kalinda Joseph trying to make the freeze around the corner guard.
Just catch and curl. Catch and curl. Nice shot, Kalinda.
Looking pretty good. Looking very good. Oh, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect from the Canadian second player. And that's why you don't put your stones in play when you're leading by 4. That's going to be horrible to remove for Korea. So Go once more. Going to peel the guard this time. Launches this one. Just trying to chip the guard off. Good rotation on the stone. But it slides right on by. Oh my. Canada with a chance here. Go with a huge mistake. Even touched that yellow stone, but such was the quality of the freeze by Kalinda Joseph. Couldn't get it out of there, and all of a sudden
13.
Canada's ears pricking up a little bit here.
I like it.
If they could ever make that same freeze that Kalinda Joseph just played here, Ina Forrest trying to make the same freeze. This game is not dead yet. The fat lady has not sung, and Canada's still going for it. Ina Forrest trying to play the freeze this time. Well, that's unfortunate. I think we'll see Korea just hit that stone just played by Ina Forrest. Just a little bit too much pace and didn't catch the curl.
먼저 치자.
그거는 의미 없잖아.
우리 어차피 후공이야. 지금 상황 그지 안 나빠.
그거 안 쳐도 나중에 나가, 혜진아.
앞에 거 치는 게 나을 것 같은데.
So it's Go Sung-nam to play. It looks like an appeal the guard, maybe.
괜찮을 것 같아.
Convincing stuff here from Korea. Really struggling to make the decisions. They know how important this is, how important a win would be here to keep their hopes of making the playoffs alive. So Go Sung-nam going for the peel on the guard. A little bit wide, maybe they can still get the back one anyway, but looks like it's curling across. Oh, and he's hit it on the nose. Well, that's another mistake, and guards the back one too. So back-to-back mistakes here from Korea. They're really making hard work of this.
You think the... yeah.
So timeout called by Canada.
Probably playing like a tapper.
Goodness me. Questioned the decision for them to play on, but still looks unlikely that they'll win Canada, but they've got a chance here.
Right here.
I think we've got to draw, yeah. We've got to find a way to sit 4 at some point, so we're going to have to make a play probably on your next one, on the outside one. But if they draw anywhere over here, you might have something off of it. I don't think they will. I think they'll be following over here.
So you're thinking like back 8 on that and move that?
I don't think so.
Just
I
a
think
draw.
you're locked in over there. You just, like, at some point, you might have to play it over there.
Okay.
We have to bring that one into play. Probably.
Yeah, at some point.
Yes, but I think your easiest way to do that right now is draw and then make a play on the next one.
Right there.
Okay.
I like it.
So Mick Lismore played third for the Alberta team, skipped by Brendan Botcher
13.
about 10 years ago.
12-4.
I think just make sure you take enough room. Like, if you show a piece, it's not bad. If they chase, it's probably not.
Line was great.
But I think you make a play on your, probably on your next one on that outside one.
Mick Lismore, the coach of the silver medal winning team from the World Championship in Wetzikon, Switzerland in 2020. It seemed like a good timeout. Everybody on the same page. Going to play the draw with this one. They know that they're going to need to lie 4 at some point, which will require a takeout around the outside of the guard. A little bit too early to go for that one though. Ina Forrest with the draw.
Fine.
Needs to get past the guard.
Nice throw, Ina.
Certainly passed. And down into the house.
John.
Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah.
And a few yellow stones starting to build up around the house here for Canada. Korea will not be
그럼 이쪽은 어때요?
happy with how this
아니,
end's
그건
going.
숨어지니까 보이는 게
I would
들어도
be
될것
shocked
같아.
to see Korea throw a draw here.
아니, 혜진이가 생각해봐봐.
이쪽이 나아요. 그렇게 할 거면.
Well, if the Koreans decide to throw a draw, then Canadians
여기까지
will be
괜찮아.
absolutely delighted. Mark Idison can hardly believe it at the back here. Korea are making a complete mess of this 8th end. Exciting stuff though. Crazy to think that this game still hangs in the balance with Korea leading by 4 with the last stone. Ina Forrest at the back there can hardly believe it. Korea could throw a takeout here. They could be, or they should, I should say, probably either hit the corner. They could hit the corner guard into the stone just played by Ina Forrest and open everything up. That would surely give them the easiest path to winning the game. Go Sung-nam trying to make the draw around here. He's got a good line. Sneaks by the first one.
좋아.
And down onto the second one. Well, after all that, it wasn't the right tactical call, but that could well be the game winner in the end. What a draw by Go Sung-nam. Came in with a lazy handle and hooked it right around everything.
Okay. What kind of weight?
I think you're going to have to throw 9. You got to get across the face here.
So Canada can make the takeout. It's going to be really difficult for them to remove that other red stone, the one just played by Go Sungnam, without losing that back yellow. And actually, by playing this takeout, they may well hit that red back onto that yellow and free it up anyway. So the game not quite over yet, but it's heading in that direction.
Oh man, Carolyn, thought I was out to it.
Well, that's the shot that the Koreans should have played a minute ago. That could well be pretty much game over. So Korea just need to hit that yellow at the front of the house. They just have to get a yellow stone out. They've called the draw. I can't believe it. They've called the draw.
이제는 조금만 더 잡아줘봐.
Canada, its hope still alive in this game. Some crazy tactics here in the 8th end. Baek Yejin asking Jang Jae-hyuk to draw one to the other side. If he makes it, it's pretty much game over as well, but it's a much more straightforward shot just to peel the stone at the front of the house. This one's curling hard. It's curling hard, and it needs to count the one on the other side, so somehow Canada are still in this. How can they fashion a way of lying 4? That's the question.
It's the only thing we got to sit for.
Mark Harrison clearly very good at the angles.
8.5 and
very quickly spots the way to
from there.
Yeah.
Lie 4. Gonna try and drive this stone back and pick the double. I need to hit it back and just squeeze past the yellow furthest left in the house and just feather the red in behind it and onto the other one. It's difficult to see how this could be made, to be honest. So this could well be the final stone of the game. John Thurston sending down a huge weight takeout. Canada need to lie 4 after this one, or it's game over. Oh, and he's overthrown it and missed it altogether. This is a famous victory for Korea. It got a bit sketchy down the stretch there.
Thank you.
Down that 8th end, but a huge win for Korea to stay alive in their race for the playoffs. Canada, back-to-back losses, having gone undefeated through the first 4 games. And look at that, huge score of 4 in the 6th end, really putting this game beyond doubt. Republic of Korea defeated Canada by 9 shots to 4. Terrific stuff from the Koreans, particularly Jang Jae-hyuk, who really held it together for Korea in the first half. Every time they seemed in trouble, then he pulled something out of the bag. And this is how they all stack up after that result. Canada have actually gone to 4 wins and 2 losses now. Not what it says on the graphic. And Korea have moved to 2 wins and 3 losses. So those standings still to be updated after that result. Pretty even in the stats. Actually, Canada slightly better, but it was all down to those key shots, and Jang Jae-hyuk, particularly in the first half, really pulling some rabbits out the hat. High quality stuff here in the ice cube. Korea with a huge upset in this round robin of the mixed wheelchair curling event. Who could have expected that? Who could have expected the team changes as well? Go Sungnam coming in for the 6th end to help Korea run it home. So there you have it. Canada with a shock loss here on day 4 against Korea. In the first half, it seemed like only a matter of time before they had the breakthrough. They were really dominating the ends, and it was just a couple of incredible shots by Jung Jae-hyuk that were keeping Korea in the match. But it never came for Canada. And then there in the 6th end, a huge score of 4 for the Republic of Korea, blowing the game wide open. And Korea, with only 1 win on the bank coming into this one, huge underdogs against the powerhouse Canada. They managed to see it through and secured a famous victory here on day 4, winning by 9 shots to 4.